Tonight, we visit a remote nation where global warming is not a distant theoretical hazard, but an imminent danger. The nation is Kiribati, 33 islands in the middle of the Pacific, halfway between Australia and Hawaii. A nation so small you can't even see it on this giant map, but go there and you can see the peril. For Kiribati is a nation disappearing inch by inch. Bill Weir reports tonight from Kiribati.
A Pacific Islander once explained the strength of his people. We're not from the smallest countries, he wrote. We're from the largest ocean. One appreciates just how large flying 14 hours to the center of that ocean and a speck called Kiribati. The nation is actually the size of 3 Alaskas, 2 million square miles, but almost all of it saltwater. The livable land could fit inside New York City limits. Most of the 100,000 residents have never left this necklace of coral, and living on the international dateline means they start each day, each year, each century an hour before anyone else. Warriors with shark-toothed spears first paddle ashore here, and not much has changed in the 3,000 years since. It is a poor nation, but life expectancy is long, and the pace is slow on this part of the equator. Coconuts are the chief export. The children are well fed and schooled, the literacy rate above 90%. But when the tide comes up, their playground disappears. And in 50 years or so, all of this may disappear. Because this is Kiribati during a storm surge. As the earth warms, water expands, seas get higher, and waves get stronger. This documented trend means certain doom for the tens of thousands who live on a strip of land the width of a city block at an altitude of 6 feet and dropping.
Mr. President, Bill Weir. A little warm for you.
Anote Tong is the man in charge of a vanishing nation.
This is a beautiful home you have.
Well, it can be nice. We don't know how much longer we shall have it.
His Excellency,
He took that desperation to the United Nations and stunned the world by claiming his country will be gone by mid-century.
Our very existence as a state is at stake.
You think it'll be 50 years?
We have to put a scenario on it. It is a certainty. I think it's a question of time. So, for planning purposes, I'd like to set a time at 50 years.
Does that mean it's too late to save your country?
I believe that is the case. I think the momentum has already been set. Some villages which have been there for the century, they've had to move.
A local fisherman takes us into the lagoon to show the changes.
This island went out to that structure.
Yeah.
And now it's all underwater.
Yeah.
When salt water rises even 6 inches, it kills everything within 50 feet of that high water mark. Locals say that this island was twice this size 20 years ago, with pockets of fresh water and teeming with life. But today, this is literally the only living thing left.
And there is another force at work. The scramble to build stronger homes and seawalls has people mining the beaches for bits of coral and rock to mix with mortar. It sells for about $1.50 a bag, but the more they gather, the more vulnerable their island becomes. But much like the rest of the world, where there is alarm, there are skeptics.
I'm not really believing in global warming.
Zita Lopez tells me she takes comfort in the biblical story of Noah and God's promise never to flood the earth. It is a view she shares with her students as a high school principal. But if some rely on faith and others choose to wait and see, a few are taking no chances. People whose ancestors arrived in canoes are now leaving on jets for good.
There is no hope for Kiribati anymore if it is sinking. But I guess our government has to look for alternatives.
In bustling Auckland, New Zealand, 2,600 miles from home, Charles Anoka started life over. This is the one country open to so-called climate change refugees, now taking 75 from Kiribati each year. President Tong believes there will be tens of thousands more.
We are very conscious of the fact that neighboring countries will be reluctant to add burden to the existing problems at the moment, but it's a humanitarian problem. The question is what happens to our sovereignty. I don't think anybody has the answer.
What's his name?
Peter.
In the meantime, life begins for what may be the last generation. No telling how many soccer games they'll play. The only certainty tonight is that the sun will set, the tide will rise, and this place will get a little bit smaller, an hour before anywhere else. Bill Weir, ABC News, Tarawa, Kiribati.